if we come to the final segment now and we do our combined Liverpool and Manchester United 11 ahead of Super Sunday. Now, a few rules before we get into this, as we found a few weeks ago with Paul Robinson. Go and check that if you haven't listened already. Our formations went in the bin and it was a bit confusing. So we've agreed we're going to be playing a 4-2-3-1 and we're going to be having players that have at least featured this season or have some involvement. So
just featured 1 minute or half the minutes, or is there how strict?
Regularly is what he said.
Yeah,
Regularly,
at least a few games. You can't have ex-Wonder Kid come in and say, but that's totally up to you. All right.
Lewis likes his rules. Be warned.
I remember I watched the episode with Robinson. There was lots of debate about John Stones.
Well, no, because otherwise Wayne's going to be playing a 1-1-2-2-1. So we have to be very careful with
to win the match, Lewis.
Win. I agree.
I'm all for it.
He gets to win.
I'm all for it. If we start in goal, Daniel, I'll come to you as our guest right now. Who are you going in goal? Who's your goalkeeper to start? Onana?
Anyone with Liverpool badge. Anyone. It could be Kelleher if you want. I don't mind. Not Onana.
So we're gonna say Alisson then.
I'll go with Alisson to be safe, but anyone but Onana, please.
Okay, Wayne, what are your thoughts? Are you going Ali as well?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think even Onana's nearest and dearest and most loved ones would be voting for him in this glove off. Yeah, it's Alisson.
Yeah, Alisson nailed it.
I think Alisson's probably the best goalkeeper in Premier League history.
Oh yeah. Yeah, with that, I mean, certainly, probably him and Schmeichel.
I caught the end of Schmeichel. Yeah, I'm not that old. I caught the end of Schmeichel.
I'm old enough to have caught all of Schmeichel. Yeah, he was the real deal. I'd say Alisson and Schmeichel the best for me.
Wow. If we come to right back, now this is where it gets quite interesting because it depends on how you see, of course, Mr. Trent Alexander-Arnold. Wayne, we'll come to you. Who have you put in right back? Who would you like to start in that position?
I've gone for the Liverpool man in this very strict formation you've given me, Lewis. Yeah, he has to be in the team. He has been Liverpool's best player over the last couple of months. I think he's been absolutely brilliant, often more effective going into midfield. Slight exception against Palace on Saturday, but he's generally been brilliant. He's added goals to his game a little bit as well. He's always been able to strike a good ball, but he's been properly nailing them. I mean, I would say he is in the three most important players at Liverpool.
Yeah. No, Daniel, what are your thoughts? Who have you put at right back?
Yeah, I've gone Trent as well. I think he's probably one of the easier picks considering the options opposite him. He's everything Wayne said is spot on. I think Trent's an easy pick there.
Now, actually, interestingly, I actually went for Aaron Wan-Bissaka because I like an old school fullback and because I was going to put Trent in midfield, but that's fine. We'll put Trent at right back. Moving on.
Okay, controversial.
Moving on to centre backs. We'll talk about that right-sided centre back. Daniel, this might be your moment of glory here to start with. Are you who are you eyeing up for that position?
Yeah, I'll go. You'll be doing the pair. I'll do.
You do the pair, yeah.
Yeah, I'll do Van Dijk and Varane.
Yeah, okay.
I think Varane's time at United has been wildly underrated. I don't think he's obviously hit his Real Madrid levels, but I still think he's comfortably our best centre back when fit. The fact Ten Hag is not playing him right now is baffling to me. And I think Konate and Matip are good on their day, but I think everyone at their best, Varane is easily the next best under Van Dijk.
When are you agreeing with that? Have you gone for that pairing too?
I've not gone for that pairing, although I think I appreciate Daniel's argument. It's a very strong argument, but Varane, he's not on the Man United team, a very weak Man United team, even though he is currently fit, and often he's not. He's got major knee issues. His knees are like bread. Man United want him out, which says a lot. He's not going to get a new contract. So I'm going for Liverpool player. I think Matip's a reasonable shout. Obviously, he's out. I'm going to go for Konate. Konate's not been particularly good this season, but he has got the tools to be a top centre back. I think mentality is an issue though for Konate. I'm not convinced he will be elite centre back at Liverpool, but he definitely has the tools to be one. So he just about gets in.
Okay, I went for Virgil van Dijk and Varane. I think Varane on his day is probably arguably a better centre back. So there you go. Daniel can cheer and wave the flag.
Big win there for Daniel.
1-0 for Sunday. Let's go.
Huge. Yeah. If we focus on left back again, this might not be much of an argument. Wayne, who have you gone with for down the left hand side?
I'm going for the man who's out with a dislocated shoulder. It's got to be Andrew Robertson. Much missed by Liverpool at the moment, even though he's probably one of the technically less gifted players in that first 11 at Liverpool. His attitude, commitment, second to none, durability, very underrated for the on the creative side and the overlap as well. Missed so much. And when Gomez plays at left back, fish out of water is probably the best possible phrase. So yeah, definitely Robertson.
Daniel, what are your thoughts? Are you going to argue Shaw maybe, or is it a dead set?
It was one that I was willing to argue. I think Shaw has had his moments where he's been very, very good. I just think he's too inconsistent, too injury prone. Can't really rely on him. I do think Robertson's form has dropped in the last 12 months or so, but I still think he's probably better than Luke Shaw right now. So I'd go Robertson too.
We'll go with that. We'll go with Robbo as well then. What about the two in midfield, Daniel? What are your thoughts? The two, what you call it, box to boxes, number 8s, whatever you want to refer it to as.
So I want to premise this with Casemiro's legs are gone. But
you have not got Casemiro in your team.
Only because I personally don't think McAllister is all that. I think he's quite overrated because of the World Cup.
Wow.
And I think a proper DM is needed in that system. So I would go Casemiro and Szoboszlai.
Okay, Wayne, what are your thoughts? Wow, that's a big call.
I agree with Daniel that a proper DM is needed, but I don't think Casemiro is a proper DM. He's actually better at being a number 8 himself and sort of getting into the box. His scoring record at United is actually pretty impressive. But no way does Casemiro get in my team. None of the Man United central midfielders are good enough, have been good enough. But I like the look of Mainoo, by the way. He looks really high class and he's got a lot of potential. But I've got to go with 2 Liverpool players. I'm not going with McAllister, actually. I think I've got a massively over-aggressive team here because I'm going with Szoboszlai and Gravenberg.
Wow.
Szoboszlai speaks for himself. Gravenberg, I think, has got huge potential. I don't think Liverpool fans have anywhere near seen the best of him. I think driving forward with the ball, he's got a lot of quality. I think he'll make a massive impact when he learns how to play the Klopp way, and he hasn't at the moment. And I think there's probably lots of coaching of him going on behind the scenes. But I think his level is above, far beyond Elliott, Curtis Jones, and those other guys. I think he could be a really top player.
Yeah, I'll go with that. I agree. I think that's definitely. We'll go for Gravenberch and Szoboszlai then in midfield. If we come to right wing, this might be one that we skip quite quickly. Daniel, is there any argument against Mohamed Salah, or is that?
I would pick you before I put Anthony in the team. So we'll go with Salah.
But have you seen Lewis play though? That's the question.
Nope.
They used to call me Iron Robin back in the day on the wing. Yeah, on the right wing, it was cut in and shoot. That's
who called you Iron Robin, Lewis?
Well, I used to have Bayern Munich gloves, so it might be a bit of a stretch to be fair. But anyway,
anybody that you can think of, I would put them before Anthony. I would get that guy the hell out of here really quick. Okay. So I'll go with Salah and keep it simple.
Okay, Wayne, I'm sure I'm taking you're agreeing as well.
Yeah, big red tick for Mo from me.
Yeah, there you go. And what about the left wing? Is any argument potentially Garnacho, Rashford, or is actually Luis Diaz, Nunez?
Oh no, not Diaz for me. I would be more than happy if Liverpool were to sell Diaz. I don't think he's anywhere near the player he was before his injury. Before his injury that sustained in the Arsenal game. He was brilliant before then. He was Liverpool's best player in the first few months of last season. Since he come back from the injury, he's been nowhere near that player. I don't know if it's mentality or there is some sort of physical trauma as a result of that, but he looks nowhere near the player he was. I thought I was really disappointed in him on Saturday, but that's not been the first time he's been like that a lot. I think he was only in the team because Jota was unavailable. Of the Liverpool front 5, the senior front 5, that includes Jota, who's out injured, I would say Luis Diaz looks the worst of them at the moment. So I'm going for Rashford. I thought Rashford was amazing last season. If he was playing on Sunday, on Liverpool's behalf, he would be the Man United player I would fear the most. I think he has that capacity, can be electrifying. I know he's been dreadful this season. There's obviously an issue between him and Ten Hag, but he was brilliant this season. But he seems to have these seasons, doesn't he? Like 2 years ago, he had the same season. He was rubbish. and then the season before that he was brilliant. So next season he'll be amazing again. He seems that type of player. Maybe can't consistently deliver year in year out. Maybe is that, but Liverpool would fear him if he was to start on Sunday for sure.
Daniel, what are your thoughts? Are you going to go for Rashford then?
I'd go Rash. I think right now he's terrible, and you could probably make an argument for Garnacho ahead of him. But I think if you're going on the ability of the players at their best, I think he's the best left winger in the two squads. But that said, he's been horrible this season, and he needs to buck up. Sure.
Yeah, we'll go for Rashford then. I'm actually going to make the argument first for number 10 before we get going. I'm going to throw this one out there because earlier, Daniel, you said that Scott McTominay, you want him first out the door. I'm actually going to put him at number 10 because I don't want Bruno Fernandes in my squad. I don't feel I'm calling this team Composure FC, and I don't believe.
So why is McTominay in it then? Lewis?
Because it comes up in big moments. If you talk to one of our editors, Daniel Bowers, he is an absolute advocate for.
Who is Scottish, by the way?
Scottish, yeah.
He always comes up.
Scotland have two good players.
He always comes up with big goals. And my argument for it was, I like an old school in the box, like a Marouane Fellaini, someone to get in there. I don't want a player who's going to moan at everyone else and is going to be disappointed. That's my argument. I've put him at number 10 for a bit of fun to mix it up. What are your thoughts?
I've got Bruno, number 10. I think, yes, he has a really weak mentality. He is not a leader in a million years or a captain, but technically, he's on a different level to all the midfielders apart from Szoboszlai, I would say. And under Jurgen Klopp, because Klopp is managing this team, Ten Hag, he can put the cones out and maybe pass the water to the players at half time. But under Klopp's management, I think Fernandes could be a genuine superstar, one of the best players in the league. He's got the ability. He just needs a proper team and a proper manager. He's my number 10.
Daniel, what are your thoughts?
I'm probably in the minority as a Portuguese Man United fan. I'm not a massive Bruno fan. I think he's vastly overrated. I think he makes way too many simple mistakes. Little 5-yard passes that are astray all the time, pressing like a headless chicken. Hollywood passes to force things when he doesn't need to. They all cost us regularly. But with that said, I don't think Liverpool have a traditional number 10 in their squad, so I have to pick Bruno because I refuse to pick McTominay in any form.
Well, look, because you're the United fan and you've agreed with Wayne, of course, Bruno can go in there. That's fine. Yeah. I'll say that with gritted teeth. To wrap it up at number 9, is Wayne going to go for his favourite, Mr. Unknown?
Yeah. My number one, Darwin Núñez. He leads the line in this team. I've got 2 Man United players in my team, so it has to be Núñez. Martial, no, thank you very much. He's the 6th player, by the way, who they would be 6th person side. They'd be willing to sell in January. I don't think Højlund's good enough yet. He's raw. Yes, Núñez is raw, but Núñez could easily score a hat-trick against Man United on Sunday, or alternatively miss a hat-trick of sitters. But he does scare defenders. He gets in good positions, and he tries his absolute hardest. A lot of his stuff doesn't come off, but he genuinely cares, which you could not say that for a lot of the Man United players.
Daniel, what do you think? Would you like Darwin Núñez, or is there any argument maybe for is Gakpo involved? What would you say?
No, I think Núñez is the pick. I don't think there's actually that much difference between Højlund and Núñez. I just think, as it stands today, Núñez is probably the more dangerous player because of the way he just creates chaos. Whereas Højlund is still learning how to create the chaos that he thrives in. So I would go Núñez. I don't think either of them are particularly elite right now. I think they can be. They both have the attributes to get there. I would go Núñez for now, but if somebody said Højlund, I wouldn't be particularly mad at it. But I'd go Núñez as well. I
put Cody Gakpo in there, and that wasn't to be any different. I just wanted someone with a cool head and someone that I know I can.
Like cool heads, Lewis, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I just
cool heads, but then you pick McTominay, doesn't it?
Because I'm all for a differential. Anyway, to wrap up that there. Our team in full. We've got Alisson in goal. Across the back four, we've got Trent, Van Dijk, Varane, and Robertson. The 2 in midfield, we've got Szoboszlai and Gravenberch. The 3 attackers, we've got Salah, Bruno, and Rashford. And up top to be scoring all the goals, or potentially missing Darwin Nunez. That there wraps up a fantastic episode. You've just watched a segment from Football Insider's brand new podcast, The Inside Track, with me, Lewis Pearce, alongside the guests on the show. Thanks very much for tuning in. Please do give the video a like, comment your thoughts on the topic, and feel free to share on your social media pages. If you want to listen to the full podcast episode, click the link in the description below. Keep your eyes peeled for plenty more content and exclusives here on The Inside Track.